And the people who succeed become comfortable being uncomfortable. It becomes a normal feeling, say, yep, I know if I want to grow, I have to take risk. And with that risk, I have some potential reward and I have some potential danger. Now, from a neurological perspective, the brain will give, for example, 100 points to something that is potentially negative and can harm us, and give only 10 points to a reward that we could achieve. 100-to-1 ratio. So you have to really learn how to override the natural propensity for safety. It's the number one thing that your brain does is looks to keep you alive. Looks to keep you away from real or perceived danger. And most people, I have found, allow the fear to control their life instead of learning how to use the fear as a propellant forward. And so today we'll be talking about a lot about the brain, the neuroscience stuff about the brain. Bill and I were sharing, we know a very dear friend of both of ours, Dennis Waitley, who started talking about this stuff 30 years ago, was working with the astronaut program, as you know, back 30 years ago, on retraining their brains. And the science today is leagues ahead of where it was, 20, 30 years ago. But the beautiful thing is, as a human species, we're now able to model certain thought patterns and behavioral patterns that alter the neurological structure of the brain and get people to act and behave in ways by accessing the implicit memory system of the brain that just is the part of the brain that acts and does things automatically. And a perfect example is if you just put your fingers out like this, just put over here on your chin. Great, where's your chin? Right, chin's there. This is cheek. Now, that one I learned from Bob Proctor 30 years ago, just so you know. So I'll give Bob the credit where that's due. Bob was actually one of my first personal development mentors when I was 19 years old. I went to a program that he talked about the conscious and the subconscious mind, and I got fascinated with the brain and studied it for the last 30 years, but really got into the neuroscience side of it in the last 10 years. And so those are a couple of ideas for you, and I was told yesterday not to talk as long and to ask or to allow more questions. So Q&A now. I'm right on cue today. So, Jackie?
Just the fact that we all put our...
One second, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
They want you on mic.
Oh, okay.
Is there a way to turn the air? Is it warm in here? I didn't know if it was all my hot air or the room is warm. Yeah, if we get it cooler, right?
Yeah, cooler.
Yeah. Thank you.
Does the fact that we all put our, our fingers on our cheek when you said chin, does that not automatically say that we're all more visually aware, we were actually watching you rather than listening?
Yes.
And does that say that what we see visually is stronger than what we actually hear?
Yeah, 30% of our brain's used for visual processing. But what it also says is people